event doors open from 6 p.m. at Oztag Hotel.
Yes, welcome to the second game of the morning. We've got my co-host, Luke Manahan, from the General Manager. Good morning, mate.
Good morning. How you going?
Yeah, not too bad. Just watched the first game of the day at the Oztag Stadium here. But we're going to get kicked away here today with the men's 30 up against St George, up against the Fairfield City. So we're looking for a very entertaining game from the 30s, just coming off a mixed game. So it looks like it's going to be Fairfield kicking off, and the St George team will receive, running left to right on your screens.
Yeah, the men's 30 is one of the premier divisions here. The boys that are probably still up to play in the men's opens division, but just edged out by some younger talent there. But some very good talent here, and it's a super strong division, so it should be a good game.
Yeah, very much so. Looking forward to it. So it was only a few weeks ago we were down here for the junior state titles as well, and some very entertaining tag played as well here. So both these teams, it's a quarter-final, so yeah, looking for some very entertaining football. They've played enough over the last few days, so the winner will advance through to the semi-finals, and it's a 20 minutes each way, so looking very much forward to it here at the Oztag International Stadium.
Yeah, we're just waiting on that 2-minute warning. There might be some extra time going. It's finals day today, so every game, quarters through to the finals, does have extra time if there is a draw. And being 20 odd fields that we're running, if there is a draw on one field, it kind of holds up the rest of the tournament, so we run in sync. But so quarterfinals, 5 minutes extra time, capped, same as semi-finals, and in the grand finals, if there's extra time, we play for a result. So
100%. Well, we just saw the last game with the mixed tournament going on. The ladies get an advantage of scoring the 2-point try. So but this one is the men's 30s quarter-final. So who are you looking forward to seeing? Any quality players out that you know of,
I'm
Luke?
Not familiar with any of the players in these two teams, but two strong areas in St George and Fairfield. Hundreds of teams in each respective area. Both been around for a long time, and as I said, I think it's going to be a pretty good game regardless. But yeah, no doubt there'll be a couple of good players within each team that we'll see early on that'll probably set the light against each other. I think should be a good game.
So BarTV are covering the live streaming coverage today. So you'll be looking at some excellent tag being played here for the Senior State Cup 2025 at the Coffs Harbour International Stadium. So I'm looking forward to having a bit of a chat to Luke along the way, and see what these two teams can bring. Look, I think Perry was saying leading into this game that there was 160 teams approximately playing this weekend.
Yeah, I know there's about 3,500 players, so it's nowhere near the fraction of the Junior State Cup, but still a large representation of teams and players that are obviously playing representative Oztag up here for the weekend. There'll be around 15,000 people that come through the gates each day, contributing largely to Coffs Harbour up here, as we do. 2 weeks ago we had, I think it was 315 teams for the junior tournament, so much larger, but still a big weekend up here.
It's definitely a growing sport, and it's magic to watch some of the talent there that's available, especially the juniors, and they're coming through now to the seniors. So, and Perry also mentioned that the Australian, there's a number of teams heading over to play in the Trans-Tasman.
So 2 weeks time. Yep. So the Australian team selected from the Nationals last November. They go away in 2 weeks' time to Auckland to play over there against New Zealand. It's been, I think it's 2018 was the last time that we had a tournament over there in the Trans-Tasman, with COVID affected and everything in between. So everyone's looking forward to that. It should be a good weekend. Hopefully players pull through this weekend that are heading over there injury-free.
Well, we're almost ready for a start here in one of the other grounds. There must have been a playoff because we are still looking around as we speak and waiting as everyone's set ready to go for this men's 30s clash between St George and Fairfield City. suppose the nerves will be settling in, won't they? Standing around, waiting anxiously. When's that whistle going to go, and when are we going to kick deep? So I think they're getting settled now. All teams, all fields look like they're ready to go. Luke?
Yeah, I think there's the siren there, as you heard it in the background, and we're away.
We're away with a nice kicking that's come off his foot there, and early mistake from the St George. So Fairfield on the attack straight away, and that's what you didn't want to see straight away here. So let's see what the Fairfield 30s can do as he goes on the short side. Look, oh, great tag there. He tried the short side straight away, tried to get the mark and napping there. So as they look nice and deep as the points direction here. Oh, bit of an infringement there, Luke, in the middle. No, the referee's pointing the spot here. We've had a bit of a ref change. We've got Dustin Munns now, who's been asked to call the game here. So Fairfield only a few metres out now. No, referee's making his mark straight away, Luke. Get back here and play the ball there.
Yeah, yep.
So as they start going towards the eastern side, he spins it back. Good ball back inside. And good defence there from the St George team here now as they try and spin it wide. They look very flat on the outside. There's a little tip-off, but in control. Bad pass in the end there. A lot of pressure there, Luke.
Poor execution there. Testing the waters early there through an early mistake with St George, but it's early days still. A mistake from both sides. We see St George will bring it out of their own half and see what they can bring to the table. Yeah,
that's right. I'm looking forward to these 30-minute clashes like these age group 2. They're not tried old enough. They're not walking yet. You know, they've still got a bit of agility in their feet work and, you know, a bit of skill level. So, and there's this kick early. The previous game did the same thing. Kicked really early and tried to force a mistake. But sometimes it didn't pay off. But anyway, there's going to be some tactics in these games, I'm sure of you. So we have coaches Sean Neal from St George and Andrew Winkey from Fairfield City, and they'll have some tricks up their sleeve, I think, Luke.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. I'm sure both teams they've either versed each other previously. They have a long history here with being the 30s, and they'll know how each team plays. But come finals day, they'll surely have a trick up their sleeve.
Yeah, as they sprinted wide here. Oh, I thought they had a little bit of an overlap there because the St George defender was back about 5 metres there, probably waiting for a little kick through or something like that. So Fairfield's still on the attack here. They're still going good cover defence there, so just sort of ran out a bit of a space there too. Maybe an inside ball would have been a good option here now as a referee holding something up.
To change over here,
Was it the last, was it?
I think it must have been, Quick set.
Referee making control here. He says, get back here, that's where you belong. So here we go as the Dragons work. Oh, a bit of a collision there. It's almost rugby league as well, but as they start getting away outside in their own half, the St George team, and let's see what they've got in attack as they start to go towards the eastern side, right on the halfway line. And here goes Luke. He's held it up well. That was a great option then. He actually held back as the teams these days are seen to be playing lots of sweepy roles, like a fullback or a winger dropping deep. So
plenty of options.
As they go towards the eastern side, we'll put a grubber through here. It's a bit of a ping-pong moment. And the referee says...
It's called a knock on there.
Knock on there, but good movement, good long pass there from the St George team, trying to get them out wide. And unfortunately, it didn't go their way. But now the Fairfield team will be drawing as we've gone in about 4 minutes into the game so far. And, still 0-0.
Yeah, you touched on earlier, just looking for key players. And I've noticed one in the St George team. He's been around for a while, number 81, Luke Swanbury. He's an Australian representative, very good player. He's been around for an age and knows how to play the game. And he's had a couple of early touches here, looking for that early kick, the 50-10, as we see from the Fairfield do the same thing here.
Yeah, it's just drifting back here. They need that ball to hold up here. But that's actually not a bad thing, Luke. I mean, I've been watching lately the tag, and they've got to hold them down that end. So they'll be pushing for a mistake here. So the Dragons. So the option there of kicking deep has got a result. And let's see if they can force a mistake here on the Dragons as they work their way out of their own half there, and a bit of a collision there. Oh, he's bounced. He's bounced off like the old ping ball machine. Contact. No, he's just got to play the ball. Obviously they're through here. So there's been a bit there hasn't been any fancy play here, and here's this deep kick again. What's it going to happen?
He's got the 50-10 there.
He has, that's a good kick, and that's a great result now. So that's the first 50-10 of this game.
first of many, I believe. They're looking to do it, almost every set so far. Get out. They saw no fullback there or no pendulum shape with that winger hanging back. So perfect opportunity, and he executed it.
Hot skippers up. He comes inside, dances, holds. So they're only about 5 metres out. So they look for a wide swooping run here. Oh, there was almost an overlap there, I saw, but well, good defence there from the Fairfield. With the Dragons looking back in centre field. Switches. Long loopy pass. Can he get on the outside? Great ball at the moment. Can they score the first try? No. They look good out there, Luke, but the referee tag. He got his tag off first, but that was end up being a 3-on-2 there. Opportunity there for Dragons, so they created something out of nothing. There's a little kick through. Is he going to go all the way? He's looking for inside runner. Has he got the speed? Has he got the legs? No, but a great run there. The kick didn't come where the Dragons won now, so Fairfield on the attack just up to the halfway line. So, and over. Can they explode and try something out wide here? As all the fresh legs are coming on from the Fairfield team. So, and there we go. There's a bit of a
Penalty.
yeah, sort of grabbed his tag a bit
Grabbed
too
the
long,
shorts,
Lukey, didn't he, mate? Yeah, so
grab the shorts instead of the tag. So yeah, any piece of clothing that they grab and hinders the attacker. Penalty against them. So Fairfield will get a repeat set to attack the line and see if we can open the accounts early.
trying to create something, nothing. So it's a great day here for the Senior State Cup for 2000. There's going to be a try. This is going to be the first try. Some great ball movement. There's some little wrap around here. And they are in for the first try as Fairfield. As we go to the replay there, Lukey, let's have a look. It looks simple as he looped around.
Just run that sweep play as you spoke about earlier and created the space, and it was all too easy.
We're just trying to get the try scorer here.
Jason Trin that set it up, and it was the 8 in Andrew Wynn-Key.
Andrew Wynn-Key.
Which is actually the coach, so I'm assuming it's a captain-coach role here. So leading by example there. He's got the early try through that lead and sweep.
He'll be able to talk about that
I'm sure he will.
at half-time and full-time if they get away with a victory. So an early lead there for Fairfield as we've gone 7 minutes into the game here at the Coffs Harbour International Stadium for the 30s, men's 30s at the Senior State Cup for 2025. I bet you they're relieved after the first kick-off, Luke, when they did drop the ball there. So anyway, they've got to work their way out, the Dragons. And here we go, as we talked about here, they've got this winger number 4 here's dropped back here, waiting for the kick. If they're going to kick early now, so it's bolt up to join the line.
Yeah, they'll run a pendulum shape, so instead of running a fullback, they'll have the two wingers that work with each other, depending on where the ball is on the field. We see another early kick from the Saints. It's gone dead. He hasn't had the angle on it. But again, as you spoke about, it's not a bad tactic. It turns him around, and now will Fairfield have to get back behind the 10 and be ready, and St George are there ready to go. So not a bad tactic, not a bad result.
No, that's right. So, and then that's probably one of the tactics they're going to use all day today, I think. Play down the other end and be smart, especially when you get to the semi-final. We are in the quarters, but, semi-final football is all about territory and waiting for the mistake and capitalising. And here we go, the right, it's come on, ricocheted off his leg. Fairfield, there's a bit of a collision still going on. What's the ref going to call here? I think he's gone. A knock on Fairfield.
Knock on Fairfield, yeah.
Yep. Geez, we got that one right. That's the first one, Luke. Now St George, they need to hit back, halfway through the first half. So here at the Coffs Harbour International Stadium, and what a venue it is, Luke. It's going to be a cracker of a day. I think Jeff said it was going to be around about 26 degrees today. So, mate.
Mid to high 20s. It's been like that all weekend.
And here we go. Here's that kicking. Is he going to get it through there? Oh, it was touchy. What's the ref going to call here, Luke? It's not.
I think he's put it dead, so he's batted it back in dead. So good result for St George either way. He's calling the 50-10.
Yeah, no, 50-10. I'm just thinking must have just went out or did he have his feet?
Might have had his foot on the line, yeah. But geez, he had no room to work with there. He's got the angle and the shape on that ball.
Yeah, and so good call there from Dustin. And so now the St George team, can they get back on the board?
It's the first real... Oh, no, they've had a couple of sets down here. They have created the overlap, but just not executed. Plenty of set plays from St George, a little bit different.
They make in the middle of the field. He holds and shows and goes. Good get the defence there from Fairfield too, because they loop around looking for inside. But the two guys defending their middle. There's no lazy marker in that situation here. There's a little kick through.
Changeover.
Yep, so
Good call.
unfortunately, there, great call. We've got to go with the ref's call. It's a hard job for any referee, but no, he's called that one there. So I'd just like a special sponsor call out to NIB, great sponsors of this tournament. So glad to have them on board now as Fairfield trying to work their way down towards the halfway in the centre field. So they've played a number of games, Luke, leading into today. And obviously, they're fresh this morning, but the winner of this will be playing later on, and the loser will
Be going home or hanging around to watch, I would think.
Yeah, or watching it live on streaming on BarTV.
That's it, on their way home. 6-hour drive home back to Sydney for St George or Fairfield, if that's the case, as we see Fairfield attacking the line here.
And they've swooped around
Coast
it.
to
Oh,
coast.
it's an intercept. It was unlucky. They did loop around exactly as you said, Luke, and they had an unmarked winger out wide, but the pass didn't hit the mark. Now as the Dragons working their way and trying a bit of magic here to even up the score, as we're 11 minutes into the first half of these 20-minute segments. 50. Oh, gee, that's going to be close, Luke.
It's a 50-50, that one. I'm happy either way. It looked like it bounced over the cone before the cone, but I think probably more so before the cone. So, yeah.
It looks like referee Justin is on his mark.
Tough one with no touches as well. He's out there on his own, so you've got to make a call and stick to it, and I think he's got the right one in the end. But another kick, so plenty of kicking early from St George, and they've obviously got the tricks to do it. There's been multiple kickers there, and they've already had 2 turnovers where they've got the ball back, and that one, unfortunately, just pulling up short, but still a good kick nonetheless.
Oh, 100%. And as you said, Luke, it's 50-50 call, you know what I mean? But we got it right up here, so we'll take one for the team up here. So, but it could have been a mistake there from the touched.
Clunky game. There's been a few mistakes. They're struggling to put back-to-back sets together.
Is it nerves, Luke? Do you think it might be nerves, mate, creeping into the game?
It's a bit dewy out there this morning. It is a bit dewy, so the ball could be a little bit slippery. But, no excuses, really.
Not at this level anyway, especially when they go out wide here. Looks like they've got an overlap. But good coverage there from the St George defence now. So Fairfield leading 1-0, and it'd be good to see if Fairfield can score here to take that extra lead. Going with a couple of minutes, they loop around again. The try same as the first try. No, good tag right in the middle there.
Jason Trin, look for him to get his hands on the ball. The 7 here. He's the one that's creating most of the work.
He's dancing away at the moment. He's got something. He's put this on the toe. He might have got a good result then too, because it's come off the Dragons.
Yep, it's going to get the repeat set.
Yeah, that's a very good play. And you just alluded to number 7.
Yes. Jason Trin. He's had his hands on the ball a lot. He set up the first try, and he seems to be the marshal out there calling all the plays.
Here we go, it's come to his foot now. So Fairfield will be hungry to score their second try and take a good lead leading in towards half-time. We're still about 7 minutes to go here at the Coffs Harbour International Stadium with our proud sponsors NIB supporting the Senior State Cup for 2025. As he was dancing, I thought he was going to tow it there, but as they go the short side, good defence there. I don't think he gets through that brick wall there, Luke, with 2 defenders. So as they start springing it wide here, on his feet, good ball float. Great hands there, Bart. Good defence. He's going to come back there, which is going to slow it down here. So they're looking to target the gentleman with the light hat out wide. Let's see what he comes back towards East. Oh, good ball. No, still it's play on at the moment. Thought he might have got a little hand on that. Now it's
last play changeover.
Yep, they're trying to create something out of nothing there, I believe, and now the Dragons.
Very hard to penetrate the defence in tag when the play's slow.
Yep.
So, they've got to look for the quick plays. They've got to look for that extra man. Another kick here.
He's done for that 50-10, but he's got a hand to it, and
looks like they're going to get a result. I think he's called it going forward, or if not out, so...
That was actually longer than a normal kick. It was the second tackle too, or second tag, and he took the risk, and obviously look at their pays out now. So
they're good. It's Swanbury and the 48 in Brandon Maycock seem to be the kickers.
And they've come up with it a couple of times. So, I mean, 2 out of the last 3, they've got the ball back. So it's obviously very much a tactic for the St George team, but most teams are doing the same thing as well. So St George, can they hit back before half time with about 5 minutes to go as he holds the dummy up? A jinking run there. Maybe someone should have come inside there, but as they now holding on the ball, he holds it up strong. He's been a powerful runner too, isn't he? He's tall. Can he get those big long arms sort of in behind there without that tag coming off now as they bring it back? Dances. Oh, I thought he got through then too. The colour decepted me of their pink tags now. So they go towards the eastern side, back inside. Here he goes, his little kick for himself. Did he get held back? He wants to claim a try.
He's calling the tag, yeah. So what he's done there is he's put the kick in and then they've taken the tag after he's kicked it, which is a late tag, so play on, advantage, and he can score the try without a tag on.
And
so
yeah, sorry, Luke, mate. I think that
48. Brandon Maycock, the big fella.
Yep. We called him.
He's got the tricks. Ball player, tall, can move, rangy, and he's got the kicks in him as well. So he's come up with the chocolates there. As we see the replay, he's put the kick through, the late tag, play on, try. Good call by referee.
So for the viewers, he had his tag off, but it's actually because of the
late tag. It's an infringement against Fairfield for pulling the tag off after he'd had possession of the ball. Play on.
Yep. And fair try.
Try.
100%. So we've locked up here at the Coffs Harbour International Stadium with St George and Fairfield, the men's 30s. It's 1-1 at the moment with about just under 4 minutes to go before the first half, and it's been some sort of a little bit of entertaining starting to creep in, just trying to throw the ball around a little bit more and trying to find those little holes and jinks. Oh, as he gets away there, can he spin? Oh, he got away with that little pass there, I thought then. I didn't as now he holds it up. Oh, they're close. Can they break this Fairfield defence? It's going to be kicked. Oh. Not sure yet. We've got a knock on. Yeah, he did get a little hand too. Yeah. I thought the Dragons. I was just waiting to see there. Did he get that little hand as he looped back around and try to, put an overlap out wide here? But it's almost coming into half time in this quarterfinal of the men's 30s. So as they make a break down the right hand further, it's the touchline. He's going to go all the way. He's too good. He's too fast and slides over for a beautiful try. So Victor Lee. Lukey, let's watch that on the replay, mate, for Fairfield to go in for their second try.
I was just about to say, if St George went back-to-back tries there, Fairfield would be upset. And they've come up with a magic play here, just down the short side and caught someone lacking, and simple mistag. Victor Lee. Too much pace down that edge there, that right edge. So they're going to go up 2-1 with just over 2 minutes to play in the first half. Big swing of events there with St George attacking the line after an early mistake from Fairfield. So I'm sure they'll be happy nonetheless.
They'd be very disappointed in the defence there, St George, because they had two guys and he just slides through, and then obviously had a little bit of a wiggle and got through, and then had the speed to get down the other end, and that's a handy try leading with a couple of minutes to go before half time. So
it was nice to see a bit of open space there. It's been kind of neck and neck, back to back, middle part of the field. And
they try on the opposite side, but that kick's gone straight to there. Number 2 there for Jason Lee. So got a few Lees playing in here today, and
that's twice now. Twice. So just before off the kickoff, he's called to play the ball, and then so rolling the ball between the legs. Look what it do is make an effort to get a foot to it. So it's clear the referee's onto it. He's calling the shots.
He's heard about that rule and thought, you know what, I'm bringing it in today, and I'm making sure of it, especially in these quarterfinals. So, St George, they've stagger in the middle here. They're sort of all bunched up, but they've thrown a long ball. That's a good defence there, well read though. It just seemed to be a bit unorganised there, the St George team. Just to the ball, man, it's a bit dewy as a little man fell in the middle there, but look, didn't. As they go now, they side long ball, good hands, so he's offload.
Called a tag first.
Geez, they got away with that, I think. They're trying to push that extra pass, but they did have something there. Just now, we've only got less than 40 seconds now, but I think Fairfield will play it smart here, Luke, leading in. They must know it's getting close to half time, and don't do anything silly, hold the ball and regroup at half time and have a bit of a chat.
I think both teams will be happy to go into half time, to be fair.
100%. And the first
Oh, again.
That's 3.
3.
That's a coach killer, so there'll be plenty of conversations had. I know if I was a coach, Luke, I'd be saying, listen here, there's one rule that we've got to fix up straight away. Let's get this right, because it's just giving turnovers and allowing the opposition to have a bit of an attack. So there'll be less than 10 seconds to go, when it's at the moment it is Fairfield leading 2 tries to 1. There we go, Luke, right on the money there. And, two tries to 1 to Fairfield over St George. So we'll like to see what's happening in the second half, what the coaches are going to say. So I'm Steve Haney as we go to our ad break.
Think of everything you could do with NIB. You could use NIB rewards to get a discount on some new sneakers. You could get into running. With the time you save with telehealth and prescription delivery, you could really get into running. You could find the perfect physio and really get into running. You could even get discounted travel insurance. Let's just start with the sneakers. NIB, potentially amazing.
Yeah, we're just about to get underway with the second half here of this 30s men's 30s tournament between St George and Fairfield City, with Fairfield City going into the break at 2 tries to 1. So we're looking for a second half that'll be very entertaining, with the loser bowing out and the winner progressing through, Luke. So let's see what the second half, I wonder what the coaches would have to say, Luke. Well, if you're a coach of the St George team, what would you be saying to your troops?
St George team, I'd almost be saying let's just try and execute a little bit better. They're kicking well. They're getting themselves down into good position. Fairfield, I think it's quite easy what I'd be saying, just get to play the ball right.
100%. There was a few of them in the first half too, but that's the tag. And the kicking options have been obviously very successful for Dragons. They've had a couple of repeat sets, but I wonder if Fairfield will be doing the same sort of thing and trying to get down this other end. And it's still a bit slippery on the ground as well, so maybe ball handling and a few skills like that as they go down the short side straight away. And the first, he's put his arms up saying, "Look, come on, sir, let me through, let me score a try and talk about it later on." But a couple of some play. There's a bit of hole in the middle there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Sort of things. So you've got to be very careful. Yep, I thought so there.
Yeah, he's tagged him off the
Just
ball.
waiting for the late call there, and he's late call. What's it?
Yeah, I think he tagged him off the ball, so fair penalty.
Yep, that's Fairfield. Can they get a very early try and put a lot of pressure on the St George team? As it is 2 tries to 1, there's a bit of a switchbone and a loop around. He backed up there too, but you need to go out wide there. They would have drawn a little 2-on-1, but close to the line. I think the Dragons would have that cover now as they swing it wide. Good footwork there. He tried to get on the outside there, number 33, which was Is that Rob?
Rob Aing, yep.
Yep. So just settle it down here. Nothing fancy at the moment in the early stage of this second half.
He's taken off with his tag in his hand, so
he tagged
that's
himself.
a wasted play there, yep.
He tagged himself, Luke. He said, mate, no one's going to get me. Oh, yep, nah.
Play on.
This is kick here. There's a bit of ricochet there. But what a great stadium. This is the Coffs Harbour International Stadium. It's been a number of years.
Yep.
It's been here on the coast, and it's actually held some great events, and obviously, hosting the Senior State Cup for 2025 is, it's a pleasure to be here, and it's great to have you in with me, Luke, today.
Yeah, it's good to be here, and it's lovely to be up in Coffs yet again. You see Fairfield just come up with a mistake there, but I think he's called tag. But no, Coffs Harbour, great place. The facilities are fantastic. They're world class, which is why we bring the tournaments here. With the scale of the tournaments are so large, so Coffs and CX Stadium, they do an awesome job to accommodate us and make our job easy up here. Yeah,
and if you can't attend the Coffs Harbour Stadium, you can always live stream with BarTV as well. So great supporters of this tournament as well. Oh, that's a great ball. That is a magic. It was a short ball, but it hit it at speed. If we go to the replay there, Lukey, and that is...
It's the number 9 there, Vincent Lamb with the try. So he's hit that hole. Players in motion and talk about execution. I think they've finally pulled something off on the line, a set piece there. And again, just a missed tag. It's, Fairfield going up 3-1. 1-0 in this second half here. So 3-1 to Fairfield. A good try there from, Vincent Lamb, the number 9 from Fairfield.
You talked about the number 7, and he held that ball there.
Yes.
Yeah, so he did really well then, and that's a big mistake from St George, especially in the terms of the game, it's 3 tries to 1, and I think if Fairfield score here, it's going to have to put a lot of pressure on the St George team to hit back with 15 minutes still remaining. A little bit of tension coming in the game from St George here. They're a bit frustrated, I think, more than anything.
Yeah, it's do or die stages here with the quarterfinals. So they're putting everything on the line, and they put a lot of effort and time into coming into these tournaments. 6 games, Friday, Saturday, plus the training leading into it. So I'm sure they all want that medal at the end of the day, or at least to be at the end of the Sunday. So do or die. I'm sure we'll start to see some emotions come into the back end of this with around 15 minutes to go. Fairfield up 3-1.
As they loop around, they've got a man out wide. Jeez. If he could just eyes up, he had a man unmarked out wide here. They still go to the same side on the eastern side. But St George hanging on desperately to stay in this game at 3 tries to 1. As they've come back to the eastern side, they've got an overlap.
Good tag, great tag.
Slide through, yep. So
there's a bit of space out there appearing. They're stringing a few plays together, Fairfield, and they're starting to look pretty good. As I call a commentator's curse their mistake, but as I said,
we're allowed to do those, Luke.
They're starting to put a few plays together that are looking pretty good and opening up St George, and this is the first taste of footy St George has had in a few sets. So they'll probably just look to get an early kick and get down the other end, I reckon, as they've done all game. Swanbury's on the field here as he called it.
Mate, you got back onto your mistake earlier, Luke.
Straight onto it. But probably didn't execute that kick the way that he wanted. But anyways.
Yeah, but, and didn't have enough chases now. He's barking some orders as well. So the Dragons, or St George, have got to put a lot of pressure on the Fairfield, hopefully a mistake in their own half. So as Fairfield just trying to keep things simple, I think, and, keep to what was working. So here's this crafty number 7 as they go out wide. Dragons are sliding across there, and I thought he might have created something out of nothing there. So you said to watch this number 7 here, which was that Jason
Lee.
Yeah.
Jason Trin, sorry.
Yep.
Jason Trin.
And he's on the middle. He's telling his players where he wants them to go, and he's holding up the ball well, looking for those runners. As he stands and waits. Oh, there's a bit of footwork on the dance floor, wasn't it? That one. And then the defence didn't come up, and then so
change over there though. Playing for some free footy here, Fairfield. A little bit more so than St George, but this could be the penalty or the piggyback that they need.
Yep,
It's still close. It's only 3-1, 2 tries in it to level it up. So plenty can happen in an Oztag game, especially with around 13, just under 13 minutes to go. There's plenty that can happen.
Oh, you can take an intercept. You can run, the length of the field. You can, just, game's not over until the whistle goes. So, or the hooter. But they're going to have to defend here, Fairfield, and try and once they get some fresh legs as well on shortly. So, as he creates, let's get a little touch.
He's called a tag just there.
Just. But that was a little bit entertaining stuff. There wasn't much in that. I was just going to have a look at the replay on that one. It was a 3-on-2 moment. But I think the Fairfield guy got his hand on there, Luke, I think.
Got his hand in the way, split second.
As we go back to live action here with the kick down. Another one of these kicks that can go anywhere, Luke.
I reckon that's something that Andrew Winkey, the coach of Fairfield, has said. He said, obviously, they've got a game plan in kicking it early, so let's put a bit of pressure on. And they've done that in the first couple of kicks they've had. And St George hasn't got the result out of the kicks that they did in the first half. So if that is what he said, it's good coaching.
Yeah, 100%. But the kicks haven't been, they've just been straight to the other player. So, I mean, you're going to kick early, you've got to kick to that space and then try and put a bit of pressure on too. But anyway, fair's fair to... Oh, it's a ricochet. It's come... Oh, I thought he was going to have to go there, but,
Just grabbed the tag.
Yep. It's come off the St George player there, but surely...
He's called play that.
He has too. He's done
and
the
I was
hip
just
flush
about
too.
to say it. It did look like he did it. He tried to disguise it, but to me it looked like he played at it. So another good call by referee Munns.
And we are trying to question it here. We're saying, ref, come on. Luke Swanberry is asking the question about he wasn't playing at that ball, but, we had our hips moving up in the commentary box here, and, There we go. There's a bit of frustration.
Yep.
That's that might be the second or third time he's a bit of an aggression in his tag there. But Fairfield, to their credit, just chipping away here with just over 10 minutes remaining in the second half in this quarterfinal of the men's 30s between St George and Fairfield City. As a good looping pass around, they got numbers here. Can they pass away?
Called the tag.
Just tag. Otherwise, it was entertaining.
Nice set piece.
Yeah, 100% there. An entertaining tag. And unfortunately for Fairfield, they've got to come back. But good defence there from the St George team. I think it's set it back down. He's that short run at 100 miles an hour. Good tag. They are doing a lot of short boards, Fairfield, with guys hitting it at pace. And it's worked once or twice. They go, here, look. From dummy half. I don't want to say it, but let's have a look here. I think maybe lazy marker defence. Quite
potentially, yeah. We'll see it in the replay here. Yeah, it's just crafty work from Rob Ang there, who jumped out from dummy half and shaped one way. Bit of perception there and made the marker go the other way and opened up a little space, and he was able to squeeze through. So that really opens it up now with under 10 minutes to go. So we're 3/4 of the game through. Some frustration creeping into St George, which is probably doing them no favours. And as you said before, Fairfield's just chipping away and slowly getting rewards for it.
Well, that's what they need to do, because now all the pressure's on the St George team. As we said, it's Fairfield City 4 tries and St George 1. As they're a little bit later to go out wide. Can they draw and pass? He's got cover. Oh, just stepped inside, but great cover at Fairfield. But St George, to their credit, spun it wide, had the overlap and made a 40-50 metre run there. So they need to hit it back. He's in.
Got through.
That's the tall gentleman we were talking about before. We'll get his name again.
Maycock. Brandon Maycock. Yeah, he's got a double.
So
but he's got some slippery hips on him.
If you have a look carefully at the replay, Luke, look, there was nothing in it.
Nothing in it, just missed tag.
Yep.
That's all it was.
Both went for it. Probably got more of the shirt than the actual tag.
Yeah.
And it's try time. So they needed to hit back straight away, and they've done that. And now they've got to put a pressure on the Fairfield team. They need a mistake here, Luke, down this end, and try and capitalise. So there'll be lots of instructions coming from the sideline, and obviously the players will be a bit enthused to try and when they get that try back here. So
still plenty of time. Still 8 minutes, just under 8 minutes to go. And there's 2 tries in it, so St George with a bit of enthusiasm. Momentum's a big thing in football and tag, so Seen a kick. It looks like to me it's gone over shoulder height, which the referee's bringing it back. So St George are going to get some good field possession here at halfway. And if they can get a try here, it's all game on. Plenty to go. 7.5.
100%. And they've just got to remember that they've got that 2-try advantage. Fairfield don't need a penalty play percentage, tag. As St George going down this left-hand side again, trying to create something, and they've broke a few times. They switch back. He's got through again. He's straight through again. Now,
Luke Swanbury, the man we spoke about earlier, Australian representative. And he's got a lot of experience, and he's just another simple missed tag from Fairfield. He's shaped open and come back towards the markers to look if he can get the overlap on the short side, and just a missed tag and too much pace to get through the middle.
Well, Luke, you said it before. You need to score. It's not over yet, and with 7 minutes remaining, it was 4 tries to 1, and now St George back-to-back tries, and it's four tries to 3, and we've got a game at hand with under 7 minutes remaining in the second half, which will be full time, and one will go home and one will advance further. So I just want to know if Fairfield are going to be looking for a deep kicker at the moment, or are they going to still try and chance their arm and try and put more pressure on the Dragons by scoring another try?
I think they need to keep putting pressure on. I mean, there's plenty of tag to be played. That's the beauty of Oztag there as well, is how quickly the momentum can shift just with a couple of tries. Everything happens super quickly. As we see a bit of frustration here, St George, a penalty's gone against the attacker play. He's initiated the contact there running back from the kick. The referee has got the call right, and he's just sent Swanbury off. So frustration coming in here. Luke Swanbury, the captain and playmaker, has just been sent from the field.
I think
I know he was on the bench. So my apologies, but he's been sent back off the field. So we came on to question it, and the referee's laying down the law now.
Well, in the rules, Luke, the Fairfield gentleman was standing still.
Yep.
And the Dragons St George player did run directly at him, and that's not in the rules. So fair call from the referee now, and that's a
run at spaces, not faces. The old call.
Yeah, mate, I like that one.
Yep.
Did you make that one up, or
no,
you brought it from somewhere?
Call. Well, that's my rugby league background. I was a back rower, so run at spaces, not faces. But same goes for tag.
It's a loopy point wide.
So a man down here, St George, for 5 or so minutes.
I was just watching the referee, then he was just looking at his watch for some reason. But no, that's St George need to hang on here, but actually Fairfield, they can tire these other blokes out if they can keep the ball. But man down is going to hurt them. Well, it could hurt them anyway. So good quick hands back here. They've got a block wide.
Oh.
Yep. They're trying. They're spins, turns. No, good tag in there at the end here. So one last one. So good ball back inside. They're still got the overlap here. He's got. That's tagged.
Running out of room. Good tagging. Good defence.
Good tag. Good cover of defence there from the St George. So they got away with that, St George, especially with that man down. So Luke, how long are they off for, mate?
It's generally around 5 minutes. 5 minutes they're off for. Lucky he didn't get sent completely, as we've seen a really good kick here.
It's not going to hold up though.
No, but Fairfield's going to have to get on their bike and get back behind the 10 here, and I think St George are going to have the enthusiasm to be ready. So
I like that kick.
So do I.
I like that kick, especially this game with under 5 minutes to go. They did a whole new change here, Fairfield, and St George had a bit of momentum. 2 tries back to back. The confidence levels are up, and Fairfield, don't want to just hang on. They don't want to just we've got this in the bag. We've only got a few minutes to play. They've got to keep playing tag for another 4 minutes and do the hard yards.
Yeah, well, while St George is a man down, they should really be looking to try and create an overlap or make some space. As we see a trend there, he's throwing the ball down the side.
As he goes on the outside, as he got the legs, no one's with him. But a good diving tag there now. So they've got him stretched if they can come wide here, Fairfield. They've got the overlap, but Dragons have come back into... Yeah, they've held up there. So opportunity sort of gone missed there. Fancy fees are going to turn him inside. I tell you what. He's tagged.
Great tag.
Down that space there, Luke, there was nothing to work with, and I thought he was going to get away with the try, but...
Change over there.
Fairfield player He's not happy with his own player at one stage there because, they had something on in the middle now. So with 3 minutes left here, it's a great stadium, the Kosovo International Stadium here. We're here for the Senior State Cup for 2025, and currently at the moment we have our men's 30s with Fairfield City 4-3 with under 3 minutes remaining, and it's been an absolute pleasure to have Luke here calling the game with me today, and we look forward to see what the rest of the carnival comes up with, because our next game as St George head in the blind will be our mixed senior with South Sydney up against the Central Coast, so that'll be another entertaining tag game, and it's a mixed one. So
Quarterfinal there again.
Quarterfinals. So that's what we're here for today, aren't we? Quarterfinals. So
Quarters, yeah. Soon semis, and then later on the grand finals.
The big dance.
The big dance.
I wonder if one of these two teams will be in the big dance. Yeah, that's right. So we're looking for a bit of pressure here from St George to try and go this extra time with that too, but there's smart play, kicking down the chasers. Look at this. Can he get there? He's going to come on the outside now, looking through.
Great kick.
Great kick and great pressure now. Look, there's only two guys back for St George, and Fairfield. No, play on there. I didn't know if he got the ball away there. So that's a great kick from Fairfield, especially in this situation as St George trying to make something out of nothing. But good defence there now. So St George making their changes. As you can see, his fresh legs.
Fresh legs. Swambury.
He's got the kick. He's got the outside coming through. Oh, the double kick. It's ricocheted off a Fairfield player. Going into touch.
I think it's gone back and forth. It's come off the St George player. So no, he's calling it off Fairfield. So
Yep.
So Fairfield ball. St George don't agree, but that's desperation there.
Well, we're under a minute.
They might get one more set, St George.
Yep.
Fairfield would be smart to run the clock out here, no early kicks, and just get it down their end and defend a set.
And they've got to play with the rules too, haven't they?
Correct.
You slow it down a little bit, but also be mindful too, and
not give away a penalty.
A smart kick here or a changeover down the other end would be very vital there. And there we go.
As the bell goes.
As the bell goes here in this men's 30s with Fairfield City defeating St George 4-3 here. My name's Steve Haney, and thanks very much, Luke, for joining me today at the Kosovo International Stadium, where Fairfield will run our winners and progress to the next round.
Think of everything you could do with NIB. You could use NIB rewards to get a discount on some new sneakers. You could